Welcome here on BDTV, the Westfield Blue Devils. Can they contain the Roselle Catholic Lions, the number 3 team in the state? Matt Goldman joined by my partner, John Zarnecki, here on BDTV. John, the number 3 team in the state, a top 25 team in the nation. Westfield has not seen anyone this big in a long time. Division champs, they were just deemed on Tuesday. What can Westfield do to stop Cliff O'Morey and CJ Wilcher?
Well, this is a game that, you go in and you're not necessarily expecting to win necessarily, but all you want to do is you want to play your best, you want to play clean, sound basketball, and you want to limit the mistakes that your team makes. You don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want to force bad shots. You want to play good Westfield basketball, and if you're going to lose this game, you don't want it to be because you got out-hustled. You want it to be just simply because, Roselle Catholic just has a little more talent than you guys.
Roselle Catholic just won last night. CJ Wilcher already broke 1,000 points on his career. Cliff O'Morey, double-double as usual. He's averaging that per game. Roselle Catholic goes 9-5. What has been the low of their season? How can they build up and get 2 wins tonight?
I wouldn't even say Roselle Catholic's really had a low this season, Matt. They just played so many talented teams this year that a 9-5 record, you look at it from Westfield's perspective. Westfield comes in with a better record tonight, but I can assure you that the records do not tell the tale of which team has more talent tonight.
What is your prediction for the game as Westfield fans will be out tonight? It will be rowdy in here.
Oh yeah, they're bringing back the Chick-fil-A tonight. Westfield came off a tough loss to Elizabeth. They held Elizabeth to, a tie game at the end of the first quarter. They were down by 11 at halftime. I'd expect a very similar outcome today. Maybe you catch Roselle Catholic slacking a little bit, not giving 100% to start the game. You've got the entire Dubfield environment here tonight. They're bringing Chick-fil-A in. I can see Westfield keeping it close for a half, but at the end of the day, I really wouldn't be surprised if Roselle Catholic pulls away. I was talking to Coach McKeon a little bit. When you play a team like this, the best thing you can hope for is to just stay in the game until the fourth quarter. So if Westfield's going to win, this is going to have to be a game through 3, Matt.
That's all here for the pregame. We'll see you back for tip on BDTV. Welcome here on BDTV, the number 3 Roselle Catholic Lions taking on the Westfield High School Blue Devils. Matt Goldman and John Zarnecki on the call. The Blue Devils 11-3 Mountain Division champions of the Union County Conference, and the Roselle Catholic Lions, one of the best teams in the nation. John, we have ourselves an exciting matchup. Cliff O'Morey, a top 40 recruit, wins the tip, the 6'11 center for Roselle Catholic.
Well, Matt, that's how, the game's going to start right there. It's going to be interesting to see what Westfield can do defensively against this team, because Westfield's been a defensive-based team. They play good defense. Let's see if they can just do that in order to be successful.
Niles Lane, the Florida commit, misses the 3-pointer. CJ Wilcher comes down. It's a jump ball going Westfield possession.
Let me tell you one thing. Westfield isn't scared right now. Logan Howland's a big physical player. He just went up against an Xavier commit. Howland, the D1 prospect tight end, against Wilker, the D1 basketball prospect.
Griffin Rooney averaging 15 points a game, going up against the Florida commit Niles Lane. Jake Walsh gets the feed from Andrea Shaw, drives, and gets the first 2 points of the game, and the Westfield crowd is already loving it.
You know what, Matt, anytime you're beating a team of this level of dominance, it's impressive. So, props to Coach McKeon, props to Westfield for coming out like they got shot out of a cannon and, getting a good start. 60 seconds into the game and you're already winning.
Roselle Catholic with a win last night against number 5 in the state, Rainey, 66-59, where Cliff O'Morey had 19 points and 11 rebounds. Corey Floyd Jr., 12 points, and CJ Wilcher already breaking 1,000 points for his career, who has the ball currently.
Oh, Wilker's a fantastic player. That entire Roselle Catholic team, they're built to beat those number 5 teams in the nation. But you just got to see tonight, are they going to come in a little fatigued? Are they going to come in a little tired? Because, you play a top 5 team, and this is almost a little bit of a trap game. Westfield hasn't really lost that much. You're playing in Westfield. So it'll be interesting to see what Westfield can do tonight.
Logan Howland called with a foul against Cliff O'Morey. A big height difference between those two, and Niles Lane will go to the line to shoot 2.
That's good defense by Jack Spellman. Spellman probably has the arms and the body length to guard Lane, but the question is, does he have the strength to keep up with the Florida commit? That, I'd say, is probably the most even matchup on the court right now, Matt, is that Niles Lane versus Jack Spellman matchup.
Niles Lane signed November 13th with the Florida Gators. Richie Greaves not in the game. His second month out, the Binghamton commit.
Roselle Catholic, if there's one thing you could say about Coach Boff, they're a Division I basketball building factory. You could say they're kind of an NBA factory. You've got people like Naz Reid, 16 straight points for the T-Wolves. They've got players in the NBA.
A blocking foul called on Niles Lane as Griffin Rooney was trying to make a move against him, and the score is 2-1. Lane was 1 for 2 at the line.
You can tell that these refs are going to be a little bit, soft with foul calls. They're calling hand checks, they're calling blocking fouls. Be interesting to see how this impacts the game and if it gives Westfield a chance.
Griffin Rooney, strong offensive rebound, and Cliff O'Morey comes in with the block.
Just a great tenacity from Westfield right now, Roselle Catholic, gets the block. Rooney rips the rebound down. They're just doing a great job working hard and hustling. Once again, not losing the game themselves, but if they're going to lose, it's going to be because of talent, Matt.
This Westfield team is 7-2 in conference. Here's Cliff O'Morey with his second block of the game against Jake Walsh.
Cliff's over 12 inches taller than Jake Walsh, Matt. So, you can't be very frustrated if you're Walsh. Oh, there's an open shot.
Jake Walsh in the corner, stolen by Corey Floyd Jr. Goes up with the easy layup, on pace to break Isaiah Briscoe's 1,800-point single-season record.
Oh, Floyd's a fantastic player, and he's an RC lifer. He'll be here for every season. He'll be here 4 years, and there's a testament that can be said to him for his loyalty to this program.
Roselle Catholic has a large coaching staff, coached by Dave Boff. Knows this Westfield program very well. His wife used to teach at Westfield. Eshaw kicks out Spellman for three-pointer and is off by a lot.
Great ball fake by Spellman, and you know what? If you're him, you just got to get right back into the game. Just focus, lock it in, and make the next shot.
A turnover from Westfield going the other way, and a great showing from the Westfield Blue Devil fan base. You're going to see the dance team at halftime, and this is a big game for Westfield. Last time Roselle Catholic was here was with Khalil Whitney, the now transfer from Kentucky, a CJ Wilker. Three-pointer is no good.
You can see Westfield's doing a great job of boxing out. One thing you could say, Logan Howland pushed Cliff O'Morey out of the paint right there. He's just doing a great job being physical with him.
Logan Howland with some great defenses. Cliff O'Morey can't retain it. O'Morey goes up and misses. O'Morey releasing his top 5 earlier this month as Andrew Eshaw's opening the court for 3, and that is another off one for Westfield.
They're just missing right now. It stinks if you're Westfield. You got players working really hard for Westfield, and you got to knock down a couple of these shots.
CJ Wilker with the and one opportunity at the line as Declan McCauley set to check in. Coach McKeon was looking for a travel. Declan McCauley looks like he had a prior nosebleed to the game.
Matt, that's Logan Howland's second foul, so you got to get him out of the game. And Declan's now going to be given the difficult responsibility of staying with Cliff O'Morey.
Wilker makes it 6-2. 4:55 mark of the first quarter. And you look at the height difference between Cliff and Declan, and that is a major difference. If Declan, the Holy Cross offensive guard tackle commit, can handle him.
I got to say one thing, Matt. Spellman's doing a great job on that possession there. He faked out CJ Wilker. He's doing a great job faking him out and making these RC guys think a little bit. Just doing the little things correctly. It's just you got to finish shots if you're Westfield at this point.
A traveling violation called against Niles Lane. Griffin Rooney has the ball currently up top.
You can see the crowd's getting into it a little bit, Matt. This is exactly what you want.
Declan McCauley, almost a violation, and Griffin Rooney makes the layup. 6-4 is your score.
That's a great job by Rooney. Rooney actually played with CJ Wilker for a little bit in the MSU Skyliners program. So, Rooney has a little bit of connection with some RC players, so he's not afraid to go up against Cliff.
And a turnover from Westfield. Corey Floyd Jr. almost hits the dunk over Jake Walsh as Ahmad Robinson misses, and Floyd tips it in.
RC looks really sloppy right now, but you know what? They're getting bailed out by the fact that they're just so much more talented than this Westfield team is.
Andrew Esha guard tightly by Corey Floyd, Jake Walsh, and a moving pick violation against Declan McCauley.
This is just tough for Westfield here. They're trying so hard, but these big men are picking up a lot of fouls early on in the game.
Declan McCauley and Cliff are already talking. The referee has to come over to break them up.
Two D1 athletes, two competitors. Cliff knows he's got the advantage on the basketball court, but I think everybody knows Declan may have a little advantage in a football field.
Declan was telling me earlier today he knows it's going to be a tough matchup against Cliff, and he's ready to take on the challenge.
Oh, Macaulay came into this game with a bloody nose, Matt, so you know he's not afraid of some physicality.
You know Cliff is going to be motivated right now to get over Macaulay, so that could be the game plan. And CJ Wilcher with the spin move, no good, looking for the foul call, and Westfield is pushing it. Rooney drives, no good, Macaulay, and Floyd Jr. gets the rebound.
Just something RC has the advantage of is even though they're not necessarily getting rebounds, they're tipping it out to players on their team.
Wilcher loses the ball, and Westfield ball.
The crowd's getting into it a little bit, man. I'm having a tough time hearing you to some extent. You know, this is a great environment to be in here, and props to Dubfield for coming out during midterm exam weeks to see their basketball team play.
Eshaw looks around. We're going to get another moving screen against Westfield called on Jake Walsh.
No, that's on Macaulay, Matt.
No way. That'd be Macaulay's second of the game. Tank Shapiro set to check in, the quarterback, the Lehigh commit.
You know, when your first big man gets 2 fouls, you put in your second big man. What do you do when your second big man gets 2 fouls? You put in the quarterback.
Cliff Omori with a putback dunk, looking over at the Westfield crowd.
The putback and the stare down. You can tell RC is disinterested.
Jake Walsh hits the corner three-pointer.
Westfield's still got a spark of hope, and let me tell you, those two senior captains are giving it to him. They're doing a fantastic job facilitating offense and success.
It's going to go Roselle Catholic ball. Colin Freer, the Princeton lacrosse commit, set to check in for his first time today.
You know, you got to give props to Coach McCain. This Westfield team is staying in the game. They're catching RC sleeping. RC's getting a little lazy right now. And if you're Westfield, you just got to keep up the intensity.
Ahmad Robinson. Going to see Simeon Wilcher, the freshman, check in for Roselle Catholic, CJ's brother. And Simeon has come out as one of the star players for this Lions team as Cliff Omori gets 2 points on that play.
Whenever you get Cliff single-teamed in the paint, you know he's got an advantage, Matt. Shapiro's going to try to take him on first, not even thinking about giving him the ball.
Colin Freer with the stutter step. Got Roselle Catholic to bite, but can't find a bucket. Corey Floyd Jr. with the pump fake, moves in for a 2-point shot, and Niles Lane gets the putback.
Westfield's just not boxing out right now, Matt. They're doing a great job, you know, contesting shots, getting in people's faces, but they're not boxing out, and RC's just getting a few too many rebounds.
Corey Floyd Jr. stepped out of bounds, almost stole away from Andrew Eshaw.
Eshaw's just, you know, trying to slow the pace of the game. He's getting close to a 10-second violation, though, in the backcourt, Matt. Simeon Wilker, the sophomore, checks in. They're not even guarding Shapiro.
Griffin Rooney. An excellent matchup between some of the better players on their respective teams. Rooney drives, but the floater, and it's no good. Cliff with a strong rebound. Colin Freer attempts to steal it away.
Freer's going to talk.
Niles blocks him by Jack Spellman. Eshaw slows it down, going the other way.
Wow. Wow. Spellman can play with these guys, Matt. He's just got to get a little stronger.
Everyone's on the floor right now. CJ Wilcher drives and takes the easy layup, and it's in and out. Throws it away to Andrew Eshaw, and Cliff Omori is awaiting Colin Freer for three-pointer. And that's good! 14-10 Roselle Catholic, but Freer gets the crowd going.
That's a great job by Westfield. RC's just playing really sloppy right now, and Westfield's taking advantage of it. Westfield's got a chance to be down 4 at the end of the first quarter, Matt. There's 24 seconds left. They're going to get Cliff the ball in the paint, though. So
Cliff Omori, he's going to get charged. Hank Shapiro takes that one, and the Westfield students are loving it.
This is a great job by Westfield, just fighting, and you know what? Their mantra all season has been, we're going to play better defense than you. They're doing that right now.
Ryan Freeberg, the sophomore, checks into the game for his first time. Jack Spellman, Andrew Eshaw take a seat, and Jake Walsh also checks back in.
You know, that gives a little bit of both of them a little bit of rest, you know, heading into the end of the first quarter, something that they're going to want.
14 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-10, the Lions lead by 4. Hank Shapiro gives it back to Jake Walsh for 2 points. No good. Simeon Wilcher, Colin Freer steals it away with 2 seconds. The take, and it's no good. End of the first quarter. 14-10, your Roselle Catholic Lions lead. And we'll be back here on BDTV as the crowd is roaring right now. Welcome back here on BDTV. Start of the second quarter. Matt Goldman and John Zarnecki on the call. The number 3 team in the state, the Roselle Catholic Lions, lead 14-10 in the Westfield crowd. Was a factor in the first quarter, John.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. Westfield's just being a nuisance to RC right now, and that's all that they can do if they're going to be successful. You know, C.J. Wilker missed a fast break layup and then turned the ball over on the same possession. Just a testimony to this Westfield team.
Corey Floyd Jr. gets the and one. A big boost for this Lions squad.
Great take by Floyd there, you know. Sometimes you do everything right and you still lose. That's unfortunately what happened there for Westfield.
Ray Hurt has checked in for the first time today.
You got 4 seniors and a first-team all-group goalie on the court for Westfield, Matt. You know, I'm excited to see Spellman get back out there. It'll be interesting to see if Westfield can continue to function without Rooney. You know, Rooney's definitely a lifeblood for this team, but I think Freer and Walsh are as well.
Westfield, excellent boxing now as C.J. Wilker could not get a rebound. Ryan Freeberg from the corner, a little strong on that 3-point attempt.
That's just the nerves. You know, when you see a rookie quarterback get nervous, what does he do? He overthrows it. Same thing with the sophomore shooter in a high school game. When he gets a little nervous against his first big team, what does he do? He misses a little long. His shooter's touch will come back by the end of the game.
Simeon Wilker called with his first traveling violation.
Best thing you can do is keep shooting if you're Westfield. Just got to keep doing it. Hope they fall.
Jake Walsh finds Ryan Freeberg.
You can see Wilcher's a little bit, you know, tired. Westfield's making him work.
Jake Walsh, 3-point attempt. No good. Simeon Wilker with the strong box out against Colin Freer.
Jake Walsh is playing a little bit like a J.J. Redick right now. He's just running around the court, and he's aggravating Corey Floyd. Westfield's not letting Cliff dribble the ball once.
Joshua Rivera checks into the game for Roselle Catholic on Team Costa Rica this past summer.
Rivera's a fantastic player. Just shows you how good this RC team is. They have an international basketball player on this team who plays for his nation.
Jake Walsh drives against Corey Floyd, finds Hank Shapiro in the paint. The little hook shot is good. 16-12, the Lions lead only by 4 now.
I think there's a leprechaun on the rim for that shot, Matt. Nonetheless, it's 2 points. Westfield keeps it a 4-point game. Dubfield's still a factor.
C.J. Wilker for 3. That's no good. Hank Shapiro is boxing out against Cliff Omori.
They're not scared. They're not scared. You can give Westfield basketball testimony on this game. They're not scared of anybody.
This is a different Westfield team than last year, ladies and gentlemen. Mountain Division champions, the first time since 2014, second time since 1977.
Oh yeah, big testimony to this Westfield team. They're working hard, and the results are showing.
Jake Walsh for 3. Hank Shapiro gets another offensive rebound. Finds Ryan Freeberg, who drives it for the floater. No good. Westfield giving RC trouble on the boards as C.J. Wilker goes up and is fouled by Colin Freer.
You know, Westfield just doesn't want to give up any layups, and you know what they say, if you're going to foul him, make sure he doesn't make that shot. Freer's going to talk, too. So you know it's getting in Wilker's head a little bit. Grab your popcorn, Westfield. We got a show.
Griffin Rooney checks back in.
You got an NBA prospect shooting free throws right now. You know that whatever this crowd does, it's not affecting him, whatever. There's no Mr. Whammy on this Westfield team that's going to piss him off.
Wilker goes 2 for 2 at that time at the line.
Very composed. Great job by Wilker.
Also signed on November 13th with Xavier. Griffin Rooney making some moves. Jake Walsh for 3. In and out. The Westfield crowd was going to erupt.
If you're Jake Walsh, you got to just keep shooting, especially against a team like this.
Cliff has a tough time receiving the alley-oop from Joshua Rivera. Freeber drives, no good, and a fast-paced offense by both teams.
If you're Westfield, you got to slow this game down. It's too fast, and RC is just too athletic. You got to slow this game down. You have to slow this game down if you're Westfield. Oh, he stepped on the line. He stepped on the line.
Looked like he stepped on the line, and the Westfield students yelling at the referee right now. Looks like that's Wagner commit Nicky Martini giving the referee, and it's a traveling call. And Simeon Wilker can't believe it.
Oh, the Wilker bros are a little frustrated on that call, but I think he did pick up his pivot foot a little early.
John, when you think about high school basketball, this is what it is. This, the students, the energy, this is what high school sports are all about. And you've seen it before. You've played on these type of stages for football. As Griffin Rooney has a tough time. Hank Shapiro looked like a goaltend. Everyone wanted it. Everyone's on the ground right now. It looks like a travel, and it's going to get a timeout from Roselle Catholic. Coach Boff called it first. A crazy son of events right here, John.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a crazy set of events. This team's frazzled. RC's a little bit frazzled. They expect to come in here, score the first 10 points of the game and, sit the bench and let the subs come in. But, starting 5 are still in the game. They still have to fight, and testimony to Westfield for that.
We'll be back here on BDTV after the timeout. Welcome back here on BDTV after the timeout. 18-12 is your score. The number 3 team in the state leads the Westfield Blue Devils, but the Blue Devils are staying in it, John.
Oh, yeah, Westfield's doing a great job fighting, and you know what? They're aggravating RC on defense, and that's all you can ask for. Play good defense, do the little things right. If the shots don't fall, that's just the way it is, but they're doing a fantastic job right now.
We talked before the game that Westfield has had such a tough schedule this past week. Playing the number 4 team in the state, the Elizabeth Minutemen, and now having to face the number 3 team in the state, the Roselle Catholic Lions back-to-back is tough. Is Cliff O'Mori with the easy dunk. When you're 6'11", that is not a hard task.
Oh, no, it's just tough. Westfield went into a 3-2 zone, so they're trying to, prevent, shots, try to get a turnover. But once you get the ball to Cliff down low, there's nothing you can do in a zone like that.
Griffin Reed drives against CJ Wilker with the step back. No good.
It's a tough shot. That's a really tough shot. Wilker's got a couple inches on him, too.
A great pass from Simeon to CJ, brother to brother.
This is where if you're Coach McKeon, you didn't come in expecting to win this, but you don't want to let it slip away before half. You got to stay in the game for just a little longer, and then you got a chance.
Going to get a foul. Foul was on the ground before the shot. Andrew Eshaw checks back in, subbing out Ray Hurt. Walsh open in the corner for 3, and that's good! Jake Walsh with another 3-pointer.
Great job by Walsh. Westfield needed another shot just to, get themselves back in this game, I think, just a little mentally. They got it right there. Great job.
Maud Robinson, a little too high for Cliff O'Mori. And Declan McCauley checks back in, taking out Hank Shapiro, and now we're going to get Declan and Cliff again, the matchup we want.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to see a little bit of talk in between the two of them. I got to give props to Shapiro. Shapiro did a great job locking him down right there. Great job. Westfield's got to score here, though.
Westfield down 7. Andrew Eshaw against some good defense from Ahmad Robinson. Declan McCauley, the students are loving it, hits it from the corner.
A fan favorite. McCauley does a great job knocking down the shot. It's a 5-point game. Westfield's putting their heart and soul into this game. Great job.
Simeon Wilker drives, is fouled by Declan McCauley. He's 3rd of the game.
That's a great job by Simeon, just going strong to the hole. It'll be interesting to see, Coach McKean keeps Declan in for a little longer. I would at this point because McCauley just knocked down a shot, so just give him another chance. I mean, you still got two other big men who have proved they can be effective, so we'll see what happens. Wilker, as one of the two sophomores that plays for this team, along with Corey Floyd, Wilker's a freshman, excuse me. Youngest player on the court. It takes a lot of composure to, play in an environment like this, but he's got his aspirations set on D1 somewhere.
Simeon Wilker makes the second free throw, scores 23-17. Jake Walsh. Declan McCauley is blocked by Cliff. Almost said Griffin Rooney, but that's Declan McCauley.
Nothing you can do there if you're Declan. All you got to do is be ready for that ball fake and go into him and get a foul.
Declan McCauley just up to Andrew Eshaw in the corner.
I'd get Spellman the ball here. Give Spellman a matchup.
Griffin Rooney for three in the corner, and it's good. A three-point game now.
It's a great job by Rooney, just not being afraid of taking the shot, not afraid of the moment. This Westfield team isn't afraid of the moment right now. Let's watch a 3-minute game with 2 minutes to go. 3-point game with 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes in the first half. 18 fouls for the Blue Devils, 3 for the Lions, as Simeon Wilker silences this Westfield crowd with a nice layup.
Wilker's the fifth man on this RC team, so he's got the worst defender on him from Westfield. So if there's somebody that's got to be successful, it's got to be Wilker.
Cliff O'Mori with a nice dunk. A feed from CJ Wilker.
Just like that, it's a 7-point game. If you're Westfield, you got to slow this game down again. No shot clock in New Jersey. Take advantage of that. Slow the game down.
Jack Spellman was fouled. You could hear the slap from here.
Got mugged.
Andrew Eshaw drives. An easy layup for him. 22-27.
You can tell RC is trying to make a couple highlight reel plays against a couple of kids from Westfield.
CJ Wilker wants a foul. Rooney going up is blocked by Niles Lane. Staying with Westfield.
They're doing a good job. Both teams are. You don't realize how physical basketball is until you watch high school.
58 seconds left in the first half. Declan McCauley takes a seat for Hank Shapiro. And no Cliff O'Mori in the game. Westfield can take advantage and cut down the lead. Jake Walsh for three. Wow! Jake Walsh has made it a 2-point game with 35 seconds remaining.
You know what? That's a perfect shot. I said that talent is on RC's side. That's a shot you can't emulate. Great job by Walsh. The crowd's in it. The team's in it. 20 seconds left, and it's a 2-point game.
Wilker looks flustered in the corner. Finds Corey Floyd. Spellman is blocked by Spellman. Floyd in and out with 10 seconds to go. And the Blue Devils have to push it. 5 seconds remain. Can they tie it up? And is fouled by Mild Robinson with 2 seconds to go.
McKean should use a timeout here, I think. Call up, drop a play or something. You got a chance to tie the game at halftime. It looks like Coach has got his play set. He's got his play set. He's got his screeners in. You got to go to Jake Walsh. You got to go to Jake Walsh.
Eshaw going to be on the inbound play. Finds free in the corners, blocked by CJ Wilker. 0.6 seconds to go.
Just a little bit of an inverse
quick
play.
Shot.
They thought they were going to Walsh, so Freer's man lost him.
Eshaw passes in. And Shapiro gets the bucket to tie it at half.
What a pass! What a pass! What a pass! It's a tie game against Roselle Catholic at halftime in Westfield, Matt.
If you can't hear this crowd, the students are on their feet, the parents are on their their feet.
If you can't hear this crowd, get a hearing aid.
This is unbelievable. The Blue Devils on the verge to upset the number 3 team in the state. We'll be back here on BDT for the start of the second half. Welcome back here to Westfield High School on BDTV. Start of the second half, 27-27, and the upset-minded Blue Devils are one half away from beating the number 3 team in the state.
Matt, I don't think it stopped clapping during halftime. The dance team put on an amazing show, and Westfield's ready to just keep going and keep working. That guy with the ball right there is going to have to play sensational, though, if they're going to win.
Ahmad Robinson steals it away from Shake Walsh. Andrew Isho with the steal, and Cliff Omori and Corey Floyd Jr. are waiting for him.
Howland's not afraid right now.
Howland takes the
Great
almost
move.
taking the first lead of the game for the Blue Devils.
That's a great move by Howland right there. They haven't led since the start of the first quarter. So that, they're not afraid. They're not afraid. They're going to go right at Cliff. And you know what? Cliff hasn't seen Logan play at all.
And CJ Wilker opens up with a dagger 3-pointer.
Wilker may have had, a little bit of a sloppy first half, but, the nice about halftime is you get to leave, you get to get a little composed, and you get to come back a little bit stronger, hopefully. So if you're RC, you just got to hope you're a little more composed in the second half, especially as the top dog.
I'm sure Coach Ball said at halftime that they need to step it up and they need to remind themselves that they're Roselle Catholic and they have to play like Roselle Catholic.
I don't even think it's a reputation of the team they play on. It's just the players they have. Like, if you're a player on RC and you're losing to a bunch of kids, none of which are going D1 from Westfield, you got to be a little underwhelmed with yourselves. But, we'll see what happens in the second half. Because
Niles Lane with a nice spin move as CJ Wilker attempts to make it, and Logan Howland blocks him from behind.
Westfield's got the height, Matt. Walsh for 3, bang! Bang goes the 3. It's a tie game. Jake Walsh knocks down the 3-point shot. His 4th of the game. The bench is going crazy.
30-30 with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Walsh called for a foul.
No, they're going to call the foul.
And Corey Floyd Jr.
No, they're calling it on Corey Floyd. That's great defense by Jake Walsh. Wow, just when you thought Roselle Catholic may take... RC just can't get any momentum right now. Every time they make a shot, Westfield comes down and hits a dagger. It's mesmerizing. Oh, Ishaw's getting handshake.
Ishaw having some trouble against Corey Floyd Jr. to get the ball across the half-court line. Finds Jake Walsh.
Westfield's earning every inch, Matt.
Howland against the 6'11" big man Omori. And is blocked. Spellman gets back the rebound and makes it. And Westfield has taken their first lead of the game.
That's a great job by Spellman, taking the lead for Westfield. You can't think you're winning. You got to think you're playing a basketball game.
And a foul called against Westfield.
Great job by Rooney right there, just being physical, being tough. This Westfield team's battle-tested. They played a great team in Rahway, great team in Summit. Now they're playing a great team in RC. Especially a week after Elizabeth, Westfield's used to playing a top-tier talent team like this. Talk about an alliteration. Top-tier talent team.
CJ Wilker in the corner for 2. No good. Griffin Rudy gets the rebound.
Slow the game down, Griffin.
Rooney not slowing it down. Finds Spellman, is blocked by Omori. Looking to draw a foul, and John, I agree with you that Westfield needs to slow this down in order to beat this Roselle Catholic team.
Oh, absolutely. Even there, Spellman, when he got the ball, he composed himself for a second. RC doesn't need that composure. Westfield does. Wilker a head taller than Jake Walsh. Walsh isn't afraid, though. Not at all.
Walsh for 3.
Bang.
Niles Lane now brings up court. Almost loses possession. Eshaw close to a steal. Floyd Jr.'s foot was on the line. It's no good.
Great job by Howland, being tough, being physical. He ain't afraid of no big Cliff.
Rooney from corner. No good.
Rooney forced a couple extra shots like that sometimes, and he's a star player of this team, so he gets away with it. But it's not the best shot this team can take.
Omori has had trouble all game grabbing the ball on the boards.
They're playing tough. This team's playing tough. There's a grit in this Westfield team.
Logan Howland bodying Cliff Omori. Fades away and no good. And Jack Spellman is called for the foul.
Cliff's just a little bit too tall for Logan. Logan, you know, if he's going to make anything, he's got to fade away, or he's got to be so, you know, leaning to get under Cliff. Cliff's arms are just a little too long for Logan right now. RC doesn't even need a double in the post.
Ahmad Robinson brings the ball up. The Blue Devils still lead 32-30 with 4:15 to go. Wilker ties the game up just as I say that.
You know, Wilker's going to keep working, and now that he knows, you know, this RC team kind of knows they got to lock in. Your hope, I was talking to Coach McKeon, the hope of this Westfield team is make it a fourth quarter game.
Howland finds Spellman under the basket, and the Blue Devils get the lead back. A great feed from Howland to Spellman.
Some underclassmen chemistry right there, the sophomore to the junior. Two big guys, aren't afraid of this RC team whatsoever.
Can the Blue Devils upset the number 3 team in the state? Will the students rush the court? Eshaw steals it away.
Westfield realizes they can play with this team. That's the first step, is getting over the mental barrier of playing RC.
Rooney turns it over to Floyd Jr., gives up to Robinson, and is blocked from behind by Jack Spellman. Eshaw brings it up. Eshaw, layup, no good.
Slow down, Westfield. Settle down. Slow it down. Play with some composure. You know, it's always great to, you know, have a great high amount of intensity in here, but when you're facing RC, this needs to be a possession-by-possession game. Because Westfield, I don't think, can beat RC in the fast break. They got to slow the game down a little more now.
Do you believe in upsets? The Blue Devils 3 minutes go in the third quarter, however. Can they make it a bigger lead?
Coach McKeon pulled Rooney from the game. I think it's a great move by him. Let Rooney slow himself down, let him calm down a little. You know, Rooney was forcing a couple extra shots there, so, you know, getting a little time on the bench to humble himself may not be the worst thing ever.
Niles Lane ties it up, and the girls team will be playing next against Newark Academy after this one, watching in the corner. Lane almost throws it down as Jack Spellman with the foul is going to make him earn it at the line.
I don't know if that's a foul, Matt. I thought Spellman got a ball. Great job by Spellman. You know, when you've got Kevin Durant spaghetti arms, you can go up and try and block dunks like that, you know. Very impressive effort. The only tough part is Westfield's got 4 fouls. It's a tie game, but they've got 4 fouls in the third quarter, so.
Lane misses the first. A little extracurricular from the students.
You got to giggle a little.
Lane makes his trip 1 for 2, takes the lead back for the Lions.
You think you get a free Frosty in Westfield if they miss both free throws, Matt?
Westfield almost with the turnover, looked like it went off of Walsh's knee, but it's going to stay Westfield ball. Niles Lane not liking that call.
Every once in a while you need a little something to go your way when you're playing a team like this, and you know what? As Coach Jim DeSarno would say, fortune favors the bold. Westfield's risky, so they may get a couple extra calls because they've earned it.
Walsh too strong on that one as Omori gives it right up to Simeon Wilker and finds brother CJ Corey Floyd with a reverse layup, too easy for him.
Great take by Floyd there. You know, this is another spot where RC can start running away with it. RC can start running away. Westfield needs to slow it down. Good job by Walsh, calling a timeout, getting himself some time to digress.
And now we'll be back on BDTV after the break. Welcome back here on BDTV. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 37-34 is your score. The number 3 team leads, but this Westfield crowd and the energy is infectious, John.
Oh, absolutely, and Westfield's going to need a bucket soon if they want to keep this infectious crowd in the game. Rooney's going to feel like he needs to make it, though.
Rooney finds Spellman, gives up to Friedberg.
Westfield looks a little sloppy on offense. Got to reset.
Shapiro going away from the pick. Finds Rooney in the corners, Friedberg.
Rooney trying to get a blocking foul there. Good job throwing it off of Niles Layton, though. You know, Rooney's not shied away at all from the D1 commit.
Freer inbounds it, having trouble, gets it to Spellman, gives it right back.
Wilker blocking him there. I thought that was a foul.
Niles Layton steals it, gonna go for the dunk. Bang! An easy one for Lane.
You know, Westfield worked so hard on that offensive possession, just one little bad pass, and that's it.
And this is where Roselle Catholic brings their A game at the end of the game.
Oh yeah, every single player in RC is taller than their matchup, with the exception of Spellman on Wilker. So they're going to trap. They're going to try to get a little physical and force Westfield to keep turning the ball over. Because once again, that's a them mistake. If I'm Shapiro, I got to make myself a little more of a presence on offense.
Freeberg with the floater, in and out, almost getting it. Shapiro. Cliff just throwing it like a quarterback in the corner. And Wilker for three, no good.
He needed to miss that shot. This is where the momentum can swing back.
Westfield turning it over for the second time in a row. An alley-oop blocked by Jack Spellman.
Oh, you can tell Corey Davis is not used to that guy.
Right over Hank Shapiro, Cliff O'Mori with the one-handed dunk. And a timeout from Westfield. 39 seconds to go. We'll be back here on BDTV after the break. Welcome back here on BDTV. The remaining 39 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Roselle Catholic Lions lead 41-34.
RC's going to press here. This is a good move by them. They're just really trying to increase the intensity of this game. And what are they trying to do by pressing? Speed it up. You got to up the tempo for your RC, because that's when they've been successful, when they've sped up the game.
Simeon Wilker shoving Ryan Freeberg, and he's going to be called for a foul.
Coach McKean a little frustrated there.
Simeon and Ryan both getting into it.
I don't think either coach expected it to be this close, Matt.
You know, when you're number 3 team in the state and you're only up by 7, tempers may flare a little bit.
Look at how far up Cliff is right now. Look at how far up Cliff is. You got to get to the paint and score. You got to get to the paint. Cliff.
Shapiro a little too far for Rooney. 18 seconds to go.
Just a little bit too much pressure from RC. If you're Westfield, you got to be excited if the quarter ends in 15 seconds. But you got to hope that you get a miss here from RC. Keep it in single digits.
5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And Simeon Wilker's called with a traveling violation. About 3 seconds to go.
You just heard the entire crowd shout "walk" in unison right there. Coach McKean's got a play drawn up here. I wouldn't be shocked in the JV game. They ran a little bit of a backdoor bomb down court.
Walsh, 2 seconds. No shot. 41-34 is your score at the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming your way on BDTV. Welcome back here on BDTV. Start of the fourth quarter, 41-34. The Blue Devils are down by 7. Hey,
you need to stop here. I've been saying it a lot. Every possession counts, and Westfield just got to keep this game slow. Best way to keep it slow, got to stop.
Simeon Wilker attempts the alley-oop to Cliff O'Mori, no good. Freer in the corner for 3, and that's good! The Blue Devils are now down 4 with 7:30 to go.
It's a great job by Freer, his second 3. Interesting by Westfield to see them pressing up a little bit. Maybe trying to get RC out of their comfort zone.
And one, CJ Wilker fouled by Hank Shapiro.
It's a tough foul. It's a tough foul, but if you're Westfield, you got to slow this game down again. I think it's a mistake by Coach McKean to try and get a little bit of press. Westfield's been best when they've allowed this RC team to compress, and if you're Westfield, you got to slow it down.
Referee conferring at the table right now as Wilker attempts to complete his 3-point play.
5 team fouls already for Westfield. Just something to pay attention to, Matt. Not many fouls to give in this fourth quarter. So what do you got to rely on? You got to rely on makes. You got to rely on baskets. And if you're Westfield, you got to make every offensive possession count.
CJ Wilker makes the free throw.
He's a senior. He's played at St. Benedict's. He's played, almost probably the best basketball that high school can offer. So he's going to be composed in a situation like this. He's seen bigger crowds.
Rooney throws it away, attempting to pass it to Freer.
Rooney's getting in his own head a little bit right now. You can't allow your best player to shut down, especially this late in the game.
Rooney averaging 15 points a game. An astonishing number for him.
14, you smell with it.
Simeon Wilker almost tripping on his own 2 feet. Finds CJ, and it's a 9-point lead now for Roselle Catholic.
Westfield's kept him to single digits. It's a single-digit deficit, but Coach McKean's first to 50 rule may be coming into play soon, and it looks like RC is going to be the first to 50.
Ball was tipped. Spellman brings it back to the Westfield side.
You got to get your starters back in the game. Look there's nobody in the paint right now for Westfield, Matt.
Rooney staying with Ahmad Robinson. Robinson almost makes it an 11-point lead, and the Blue Devils now push it. Spellman corner for 3, and that's good! 6-point lead for Roselle Catholic. Spellman deadly from the corner.
That's a great shot by Spellman, and Westfield needed that. They're going to need a stop and a score. 6 points is good, but 4 points is better. Great job!
Spellman with some good defense. Griffin Rooney getting called for a foul, arguing that it's all ball.
Tough foul, and that's Westfield's last foul to give. That next shot, RC's in the bonus. So it'll be interesting to see if that will affect, Westfield's physicality on defense whatsoever.
Timeout from Roselle Catholic. 6 minutes to go. We'll be back here on BDTV after the break. Welcome back here on BDTV. 46-40. The Roselle Catholic Lions lead after Jack Spellman's big three-pointer. Almost an alley-oop off the inbound. Omori misses. Spellman with some excellent defense.
You got a 6-point game, Matt. Now you got to make it a 4-point game.
Rooney finds Freer up top. No good. Some good rebounding by Roselle Catholic and Ahmad Robinson.
A great job. Even guards rebound. Robinson, the captain of this RC team, a senior, really resembles what it means to work hard.
Omori with the easy hook shot over Spellman.
You can't defend that, unfortunately, if you're Spellman. Spellman's big. Omori's just bigger.
Freer with some smart strategy, throwing off of Wiltshire.
It's a nice save by him right there.
Walsh in the corner, throws it up. A bad shot by Walsh.
Westfield feels like they just got to do too much right now, Matt.
Wilker puts it back. It's now a 10-point lead for the Roselle Catholic Lions.
Westfield's just trying to do too much, Matt. It's unfortunate, but every player feels like they got to be James Harden, and that's not a great mentality to have.
Excellent. James Harden's an excellent player.
He is.
Spellman with another three-pointer makes it a 7-point deficit for the Blue Devils.
If you're Coach Boff, you're in a little bit of a conundrum here because you have Cliff on Spellman, but Spellman can shoot threes, so that means Cliff's going to need to come out of the paint. So if you're Boff, you got to find a new matchup for Spellman.
Griffin Rooney not liking that call.
That puts him in the bonus too.
Hey, eat up 3.
So now it comes down to the most basic part of this game.
CJ Wilker makes the first free throw on the 1-and-1 opportunity.
You can't get in this kid's head. Maybe Simeon's not CJ's.
Wilker 2 for 2 at the line, a 9-point lead for Roselle Catholic.
RC going into a 2-3 zone. This way it'll keep Cliff from having to step out on Spellman.
Spellman, ball went out of bounds. Logan Hallen checks into the game.
You know, regardless of whether you win this game or not, this is still a great effort from this Westfield team. You know, made everybody forget that they got a midterm exam tomorrow.
Corey Floyd Jr., the right-handed layup over Jack Spellman. Now it's 11-point deficit that Westfield has to come back from. Under 4 minutes to go. Walsh, long three-pointer. It's going to hit the top of the basket. Roselle Catholic ball.
That's a shot, you know. Coach McKean's not happy about that, you know, take, but Walsh feels like he's got to do something special to get this team back in the game. The truth is, when you're in the fourth quarter, you don't need something special.
Wilker almost with the dunk, and now it's a 13-point lead for Roselle Catholic, slipping away from Westfield 1 by 1.
Just a good run by RC. Back in man defense here.
Spellman with another
fouled.
3. Westfield gave him the scare in the first half, tying it up 27-27. And Roselle Catholic has turned on the Jets and shown why they're the number 3 team in the state.
You know, it's tough to ask Westfield to do 2 straight 27-point halves in a game, but, you know, they're trying.
Rooney finds Spellman up to Howland. Cliff is going to be fouled. Cliff is going to be called with the foul.
Pass is good. Yeah, you done that. Full 10. Come on.
Howland, known as one of the better free throw shooters of this team.
Westfield may try a press here, Matt. They gotta, you know, do something different. You know, try as much as I'd say you need to slow down the game. When you're down 14, you gotta speed it up a little. So
Westfield may see Roselle Catholic later in the Union County tournament coming up in mid-February.
that game would be at RC though.
And this is where Roselle Catholic starts to turn the Jets come postseason. The tournament champions, Union County Conference, is now a 16-point lead for Roselle Catholic, just like that. A great showing from the Westfield fan base today. Freer is fouled both by Floyd Jr. and Cliff. Cliff jumping over Logan Howland.
Why is that a foul? Is it a foul, Black? Get him, Walshy.
It's an interesting foul call because I mean, Logan had position first, so I don't know how you can call a foul there.
No, I call the game.
Foul is going to be called against Logan Howland.
Crazy that thing's work. Really is.
He just tried to jump over Howland.
Hey, you're good.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Ball doesn't lie though.
Big Cliff switching his number last night to 24 to honor Kobe Bryant. A late tribute to one of the greats in our sport. Cliff 0 for 2 at his time at the line. And John, you're right, ball don't lie.
Coach McKean's telling him up the tempo, and trust me, Rooney's not afraid to up the tempo. Neither's Walsh. Be ready for a quick 3.
3-pointer from Griffin Rooney, that's good. Cuts it to 13 just like that, and we'll be back on BDTV after the break. BDTV, a minute 53 to go in the fourth quarter. Griffin Reed just hit a big three-pointer for Westfield, down 13 though. And Niles Lane gives up to Corey Floyd, who trips on his own 2 feet. It's going Westfield ball.
Hey, that's a stop. Now you got to get a score and, do it 4 more times at least.
Put one down, Logan!
Walsh finds Eshaw. Eshaw gives up to Howland, and a nice, easy finish for him, cutting it to an 11-point deficit.
One thing you can say about Eshaw is he knows how to pass the ball. That's that turnover Westfield needs.
Simeon Wilker turns it over again. A minute 17, and Westfield's down, still 11.
All right, so you got an 11-point game now. 4 baskets, if you play your cards right. You got to get a 3 here.
Walsh for 3 at the top. No good. Howland gets offensive rebound. Blocked by Niles Lane. Andrew Eshaw did not have a chance over Big Cliff for that rebound.
It's tough. Howland's working hard down there, but he's just facing guys that are a little bigger than him. There's a lot that can be said about tonight when you digress this game, but I wouldn't say that RC played down to Westfield tonight at all. I'd say Westfield at the end of the day, they had a challenge, they needed to take it on, and they played up to that challenge.
Cliff O'Mori dunks it, looking at his bench.
Hey, you're good, bro.
It's an interesting call. Some of these referees don't see many dunks often, so when you see something like that.
O'Mori completes the 3-point play. 50 seconds to go in this 4th quarter. And the Blue Devils down 14.
Westfield's still going to fight. It's just their DNA.
A little light from the Roselle Catholic bench. Alley-oop! Corey Floyd completes. It's a Big Cliff, and you can't help but think about Westfield's dedication and hard work as Colin Freer hits a big 3-pointer. 13-point deficit. Will stay here on BDTV. John, what's your reaction just to this game?
It was a lot of fun. You get those big circus plays like there where you get those big alley-oop dunks from Big Cliff. But this was a game going into the 4th quarter. This was a close game. It was a competitive game. And, eventually, fortune favors the bold, but sometimes, when every single player on your team's over 6 feet, it's tough to fall apart at the end of this game. So, props to RC for staying composed and not, crying or pointing fingers and just getting back and finishing this game strong. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure that if I was on RC and I was Cinco Hand, I thought I was going to get a chance to get in the game today. But, RC had to keep in their star rotation for the entire game. And, if you're Westfield, you got to be proud of that. Westfield played more kids than RC tonight.
Showing the depth. Jake Walsh able to sell the foul on that one.
I don't think it was a foul. I think he stepped out of bounds. You got to get a quick shot.
Eshaw.
Rooney's going to shoot it as soon as he touches the ball.
Got to shoot it. Only 20 seconds to go. Corner Spellman and blocks it to the third row. "15 seconds left."
The one thing I can say is both teams are smiling at the end of the game, and that's always something to be impressed with.
Eshaw in the corner for 3. A nice 3-pointer, 8.7 seconds to go. 10-point lead for Roselle Catholic. John, I think with the remaining time, I don't foresee anything happening.
Hey, you never know. Maybe you could score 10 points in 8 seconds. I'm sure it's been done sometime before. Who's the guy who scored, what was the game, you know what I'm talking about, the
March
NBA
Madness?
game where somebody scored, or March Madness game where somebody scored?
I believe that was Southern Iowa going against Texas, and Southern Iowa scored.
It was when the one player scored like 20 points or 10 points in 20 seconds or something like that.
Not off the top of my head, but I remember a couple years ago, March Madness, I believe we were sophomores. Southern Iowa, down 11, comes back in a minute and 17, wins the game.
When Texas A&M did the same thing against Wichita State too with 30 seconds. So, 8 seconds, 10 points, it's a lot. But if you're Westfield, it's just a testimony. You're doing this as a power move, and you know what? There's only so much you can do.
Corey Floyd finds Cliff, finds Niall Lane, turnover, 5 seconds to go. Walsh for 3. And that's gonna do it. 65-55, an excellent effort from the Westfield Blue Devils, a great showing from the fan base. John, what's your reaction to the end of this?
You know what? Westfield's getting a standing ovation right now, and there's something to be said about that. Great job by the Blue Devils.
That's going to do it on BDTV. We'll see you next time. The girls game coming up against Newark Academy. Good night on BD.